Hey, I'm Kay, just a girl making ridiculously crazy builds in The Sims. Come check them out. We are back with another witchy build because apparently I'm on some sort of theme. I don't know. Anyway, there's the Owen sisters' house, and this is literally how long it takes for my computer to load something. See that? That was forever. Anyway, that's where they live happily, and we're gonna pick this little lot over here to build another witch-inspired home, that of the Sanderson sisters. So let's get started. This lot looks pretty decent. I think that works. There's no road to it, so that's convenient because there isn't a road to the Sanderson sisters' place. It was in a forest. So already, this is great. Oh look, there's Dumbledore's house. I don't know if anyone remembers, any of my subscribers, that I built that house off to the left there. Now, before we get into building this thing, we need to turn the lights on because that was really dark. I just showed you the lot in the dark, so good luck in seeing the details. Anyway, we are going to build this based off of, again, the internet, the good old internet, where it's showing us like different images. Actually, I did put the movie on for this one, the first movie, of course, because the second one, the house is slightly different, you can tell. Anyway, I put the movie on, I looked at it in detail. It really only shows you like the one side. You can sort of get an idea of the other side, and it doesn't show you the back. So based on the image of the front and then some screenshots that I took during the movie of the interior, kind of got the gist of it. So we are building the gist of it. Now, right now, I am feeling like I don't know why I was trying to build it like this. Like, you see this, what am I doing? Why am I building it like that? It looks ridiculous. And then I realized it and deleted it and built it like a normal person. So here we go. This is normal. Anyway, it is massive for what is actually there. So I'm not a big fan of that. But of course, we can't. So really, this house, I believe it is like a story and a half for the height of it, and then the roof on top. Now, we can't do half stories, so like with a roof on top. Well, I mean, you can with a bunch of different little tricks and stuff, but I wasn't about to be doing that because I was trying to pump this video out for you and get it done because I'm going on a vacation and I can't be posting every Friday if I'm doing intricate work. So I apologize. I did not do the intricate work, but what I did do was give you a 2-story version instead. So really, my point was that I was getting at that it should be a 1.5 story with like a loft, but instead we did a 2-story, and the second story is acting as if it's the loft. Now, the roof was causing a bit of issues because I was trying to keep it like a vaulted ceiling look on the inside, even though I know you cannot put a material on that on the underside of your ceiling when it is a vaulted ceiling and it's open. That really sucks still. But even though I knew that, I still wanted it to be open because that is the look of the home. I still wanted it to be accurate as much as possible. So anyway, I was fiddling with the roof system, trying to get it to fit properly. And I ended up just having to put another like bump out into the room to make the ceiling cooperate. Not the ceiling, the roof system cooperate. So that is what you had seen just a moment ago. Now we are just looking for the exact material that catches our eye and says, yes, this is what it would look like. So that's what I'm doing. Also, what am I trying to say? The bathroom situation. That's what I was thinking of. So not on the plans. in the actual screenshots from the movie, you can tell they're in the little like fireplace alcove that's bumped out. You can tell that there is a door on the one wall. So I was like, that would be a perfect spot for a bathroom. But in all of the models and even the Lego house that you can find of like a replica of this home, there's no way that they have stuck a bathroom there. And then I was thinking, oh, of course, this is a 17th century home. There's no way there was an interior bathroom anyways. But this is The Sims, and I'm pretty sure you want your sim to have a toilet inside this home. If you don't, that's fine. Take it out. I did put one in. So I actually hid it under this roof over here. So there is a washroom hidden in there. So really, it doesn't take away from the whole vibe. For some reason, see, that door doesn't want to fit there, but don't worry. In the end, it does. Yeah. Anyways, it doesn't take away from the whole vibe of the cottage feel. So no worries about that, but you still get the things that you need to play the game. Now, I wanted to use this doorway because it was a stone arch for this fireplace in here. Like, it would have been a pretty cool option, but it only comes in that height. So you have to have the second tallest wall option. That's what it's called. But that was looking ridiculous. And then I tried to like bump down the floor, but no, it still attaches to technically the top part. So that wasn't working. You can't shrink it because then it gives you the open space around it. It was just like, why? I don't know why I played with it for so long trying to think of how can I get this to work when really there was like a cooler option. I just hadn't thought of it yet. Anyways, moving on from that, a lot of the time you have to redo what you just did because once you bump out a wall or add a wall or do something, it apparently deletes other stuff. So I had to go back and put my foundation back on. Anyways, you can tell that there are smokestacks, chimneys in those two locations. You can sort of see it on the one side in the picture. And plus I know there's one there. That is where the fire pit in like the, it's not fire pit, I guess, is inside. So it would have one there regardless. So we kind of know it's there. And of course, I know there's autosave, but I still save when something goes right. I'm like, oh, that finally worked. Okay. And then I save. Also, I don't have a lot of roof options that were like a deep brown color that looked like it would be on this home. So that was really sad for me, is like a lot of the options looked very modern and clean. I'm like, this isn't looking like this cottage at all. So of course, if you have some other packs that I don't have, like, you know what, probably a good pack would be to have for this build is probably the Realm of Magic. I don't have that one. I know that it has a cauldron, and that would have been genius for this build. So I'll just apologize right now. I don't have the Realm of Magic. So there is no real cauldron in this house, but I show you an option to do if you don't have it. So you can still download this house if you obviously have the packs and whatnot that I've used for it. For example, this wheel, I was just showing you different options and also clicking on things I thought were cool. Obviously this wheel, when you do your, not cheat key, but your hotkey 9 to lift it up out of the ground, the wheel is a full circle. It's not the half circle. That is from the Cottage Living expansion. So in the debug, I should add too. So I did use debug items because that wheel is in there. And I was like, well, if I'm already breaking my code and going and using debug items, I may as well use a bunch of them. So I did go in there and utilize a lot of them. I ended up switching out my idea again for that fireplace area. And then sort of made it a little better because now it's a lot larger and I could fit a fireplace in there. Actually, like an old school fire pit. So here is a cauldron that I decided I was going to use. It's just a giant pot. But instead, we're going to put it in the location where you can see in the film where it is, which is not over there. This is also just me playing around with the debug items. Like, I think they look cooler, so I'm going to build a fence with the debug items because it looks better. It looks like this would be the type of fence there. It's also already falling apart in sections. That's great because it is from centuries ago. So that's awesome. Also, I paid attention this time, well, this build, to where the mailbox is. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've gone in build mode and built something and then finished it and went to play and found out that my mailbox is inside my house just randomly, like in the middle of the floor, because I never went and moved it. Sometimes it doesn't even show up when I'm on the lot. I've had that happen where I go to build and the mailbox isn't even there. So it's very easily forgotten. Anyway, I am a huge fan of taking the mailboxes and like shoving them into walls and things like this so that it's not just, that's a cool building. Anyways, I'm squirreling out and looking at all this cool stuff. There was a lot of things in debug that I found helpful for this build. I'm just kind of giving it like that eerie sort of look, but also it's not too eerie because technically this house is now a heritage home and it's protected by the laws of heritage homes. It's like a museum kind of. So similar to the second movie where they have made it into, actually, well, the first one, they didn't, I think the first one at the beginning, it was a museum also. It just hadn't been taken care of for a long time because it does look like they had some stuff in there. Like they made it a gift shop or something because that's where he found the lighter and he lit the candle, Max, there, if anyone recalls that. So in both movies then, this home was a museum type thing. So if you want, you can, if you have that pack that allows you to designate this as a museum, you can do that. I have not for this build, but you can do that and then actually act like it is one. Yeah, that makes no sense. I don't know, what am I talking about? Anyway, moving on. I forgot to do landscaping in the sense of playing with the terrain. I don't like playing with terrain. It's annoying. It works weird. I know once you get the gist of it, it's fine. But right here, I was like, this would have made sense for me to do first. If I had actually figured out how big I wanted this home, the size of everything, it would have made more sense to start with the terrain because that wheel has to be in the water to make it make sense. So I had to build it up there and sort of have the water go uphill, which doesn't happen. But again, live and learn. I normally do the landscaping at the very end. Now, also for this build, I didn't want to go too crazy with landscaping or extra things going on. Like I didn't go as far as putting vines up on the home, as there are vines, because you can tell, of course, from the images that vines do go up the side of it. I didn't do that. I just kept it sort of clean looking, basically because I'm going with the point that this is now a museum. I have put the graves for the Sanderson sisters. This is basically at the point when it's the second movie and it's been cleaned up and it's in a rural, can't say that word, area, and it's being taken care of. So we're at that point. It is not a rundown cottage in the forest. Because as you noticed in the beginning of the video, my sim Professor Dumbledore lives next door. He's going to have to move out because that doesn't make sense for this save file. I mean, because I didn't actually base him off of Dumbledore. I just sort of named him Dumbledore. So he has no relation to Harry Potter, no relation to witches. Oh, Harry Potter. I should probably, you know, there's probably a lot of different witch homes that I could actually add to this save file. I should just keep going and fill this whole, what is it, Brindleton Bay? Is that what I chose? Brindleton Bay, like just fill it up with witchy homes. That would be fun. Maybe I should do that. Maybe not. I don't know. How much time do I have? Anyway, apparently the Sanderson sisters have all the time in the world because they're like over 300 years old. But currently they're in these graves here. So I'm just going to put some signs around because we are making it sort of like a museum space. So I have put some display type items in here. Just working around also the swampy pond. Sort of make it look a little more authentic to the area. Also, did I mention that I had put bunnies in here? You can see them there. When you're in debug, you can just take as many bunnies as you want and put them all over your lot, and they'll just jump around. That's fantastic. So you should do that if you have yet to do that. Unless you don't like bunnies, then that's on you. Fine. Now this pretty much concludes the exterior of the home here. I'm just refixing trim on the roof and just getting the last final details of the full exterior of the home. Just sort of making it look as close as possible to the image and just a little bit more adjustments, and that's it. That's all she wrote. This is the final home. Just some trees there. Boop, boop, boop. Just a few trees. That's it. That's all we're doing. Definitely tune in next week, next Friday. Hit subscribe to follow along, and you will see who will light that candle, sort of, somewhat. I'm going to do a full interior walkthrough next Friday because I have finished that, and a little show of the residence. Thanks for watching.